What's up, guys? Welcome to Wide World Friends English, and today we're going to do another listening practice.
Natural English conversation on shopping.
So the last two videos, we've done a lot of phrasal verbs that started as phrasal verbs and have become, but are still also used as phrasal verbs. They've become nouns and adjectives.
Yeah, and all of those are kind of centrally focused on shopping. So today we're going to try to utilize some of those in our natural conversation. And like we've done this before, our goal is not to use all of them, but our goal is to have them come up in a natural, real conversation.
Yeah, that's the frustrating thing about textbooks is it's often forced. So we don't want to do that because it causes people to speak unnaturally.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about Black Friday and holiday sales leading up to Christmas that happens all the time in America.
Yeah.
It's a big deal, and we're seeing it now because it is the end of October. So of course there's Halloween, and a lot of you guys know about Halloween, but even this year I have seen Halloween sales.
Yeah.
Which is unusual. I don't usually see Halloween sales. Even technology companies are saying you can get our software now for 50% off because Halloween. And I'm like, interesting.
Okay.
That's the first year I've seen it that way. But we like to joke about it because the sales keep creeping back in the fall.
Before we go on, we have to actually ask the question, what is Black Friday? Because I didn't know this until recently, but Black Friday actually is supposed to mark the date that sales begin for Christmas. Traditionally, That is what it was supposed to be used as. So it's the Friday after Thanksgiving. So because it's after Thanksgiving, the next holiday that is approaching is Christmas. So it's the first day that you can buy Christmas presents.
But what's interesting is it keeps getting pushed back. So that was the day. And then I think a lot of people started to get frustrated with how crazy Black Friday can be, and then shopping in person. So when online shopping came around and became more and more of a thing, then we began to get Cyber Monday, which happens after Black Friday. So it's Thanksgiving on Thursday, and then Friday is Black Friday, and then you have the weekend, and then Monday is supposed to be Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
So you do all your online deals. But then Prime Day from Amazon came around, and different businesses started to do more and more, saying it's Black Friday week of Thanksgiving, or they'd say this is Black Friday month.
Or what Amazon does now is they roll out sales every day, a new sale every day on various items. And so it leads up to Cyber Monday where they have a big sale. A big sell on Cyber Monday, which I think is kind of funny. I think the idea is to have kind of a clear out kind of feel to it of to have an exciting shopping experience. But for us, we don't really like shopping. So it just seems kind of gimmicky.
Yeah.
To us.
For us, it's very much, we know that's the day we want to stay in our house.
Yeah.
Some of you might wonder, is it really as crazy as the news says it is?
Yeah.
Yes. And no, it depends on where you are.
Yeah, honestly, bad news travels faster than good news. This is the idiom. Where we are in our city, it's definitely not like that.
Well, it's not as big, so there's not as many people to trample you.
Yeah.
But there are people that will camp outside of a technology store. Maybe they'll camp outside because maybe the sale is buy one laptop, get one free or something like that. Some people will camp out, but they're not crazy long lines and it's not insane. But it is enough to make us feel uncomfortable because the shelves either get empty by the time we feel like going out there, but two, in case it becomes crazy, we don't want to have our little kids with us. So
honestly, I feel like a bigger thing to do with Black Friday and those kind of blowout sales and stuff like that, it's a way to show your support. If I'm really big into Apple, then what I would do is I would be willing to camp out outside of an Apple store come Black Friday so I can get the newest model or whatever, because
if it's your go-to brand.
Right, yeah, exactly. If it's my go-to brand or if it's something that I really want to support with my money, then I'll do that. Or if I have my eyes set on a certain item. That's the idea, I think. More so than just I want to go shopping. And I wanna...
Another question I've heard before is, are the deals actually good enough to warrant that? And I would say, yeah, generally speaking. If you were one of those people that can get in there in time, yes, it is worth your while. But I wouldn't take kids in there.
Even the checkout, it gets so convoluted because you do a lot of self-checkout now. But I honestly, we haven't been in the States long enough to see what COVID and self-checkout has done to Black Friday.
This year will be different than other years.
Yeah, because there's going to be a lot of people over there. They're probably going to have like other checkouts open. Right. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I've done one Black Friday, but it was during COVID. So it was like, it wasn't comparable at all to what it probably was.
Yeah.
But Cyber Monday is different because, I mean, you can do that online from your home, right?
Yeah, no, not really in competition.
Yeah, but the thing is that happens is that shipping gets so bogged down because people are sending Christmas gifts to one another.
Yeah.
Everybody's making their purchases. Anything that was purchased on Black Friday and needed to be shipped from the warehouse will be traveling then. So shipping at this time of year is awful.
Oh.
Just awful. Like, prices are more expensive for shipping and it's slower, way slower. Honestly, if you buy something online, the odds of it getting to you in time for Christmas, it's kind of mixed. It depends on where you live, I guess, but it's kind of mixed whether or not you're going to get it in time.
One question I did have is that during Black Friday and Cyber Monday, do they have anything like layaway or buying an installment?
Later.
Yeah, kind of like that. Like,
yeah.
I forgot what it was. It was like, wasn't layaway. It was another term.
Like, take it home now, pay later. Something like that. Something. It's contractual.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if you have time for that really on that day. Because items that you would do that for are like a big mattress or like technology.
Big TV, yeah.
Yeah. Because people aren't really like, I don't think people are like selling houses. I don't think the housing market or anything like that is doing Black Friday.
Black Friday. Buy this really cheap house.
Yeah, no. I don't think that's the way it works. All right. Cars? Do cars do it some? I think they participate a little, but I think their big one is usually at the end of the year going into the new year, right? Because they're trying to get rid of their inventory.
Probably.
There's some things that are just not Black Friday things. Usually when you think Black Friday deals, you're thinking technology, any kind of laptop, computers, desktops,
phones,
or software, accounting software, even things like that nature, business stuff. But otherwise, it's household goods. Your groceries are not going to be marked down for Black Friday.
Not really.
Yeah. Restaurants don't really do a Black Friday.
I will say that they, around Black Friday and Cyber Monday, they do throw in more add-ons to like help with the purchases. To
add-ons
say, like,
and upsells.
Yeah. To say like, hey, like, you know, we're not really going to change the price because we can't really change the price on this, but we will throw in another lens or something like that.
Yeah, and some of those, though, are knockoffs. Like, if you're on Amazon, some of them just end up being knockoff accessories.
Yeah. Either way, when you do stuff with Black Friday, when you're camping out and you're spending that time and that energy and stuff like that, that is the trade-off. You basically are trading time for money.
But some people, again, in some places, like if Walmart is the only thing in your town... Everybody in town is going to be there.
Yeah.
And your town must be big enough to have a Walmart, but is it really going to take that much time?
Yeah.
Because like where you live in a town, we live in a mid-sized town. It's the traffic. It's getting to stores. And so if you want to get a few things at Walmart and you want to get a few things at like Best Buy or Target or something like that, it's going to take some time to get to those different stores. Not because it's far. It's just because it's too dangerous to walk. And there's just too many cars, too many people, and you have to strategize, where do I want to get the best deals? Because that's where you have to go first.
Yeah. I think the other stores that are around probably don't have as many instances of people getting hurt because most of the people are in the big shopping malls and stuff like that.
Nowadays, it does seem to be like very different than pre-COVID. In the midst of COVID still, but kind of on the downhill end of it where people are not as concerned, it is changing.
Yeah.
But the online market, thanks to COVID, has just exploded everywhere. It's massive, and it's always been massive, but it's absolutely massive now. So it's kind of I'm waiting for the internet to crash.
Yeah.
You know? I'm waiting for us to just overwhelm it.
What's I think is really funny is that online marketing doesn't work as well with traditional marketing as saying like that even the phrasal verbs that we talked about last time that turned into nouns of like blow out or clear out. It's like you're a website. Like
it's a digital product. You can't clear out your software.
We don't have any more software to sell. It's like that doesn't make any sense. So it's funny that the world and how it's been changing has to have different ways to advertise it.
Yeah, I think some of the words that we do see for online sales. We do see blackout sale. Halloween sale has been the thing I've been seeing, which is new to me.
Yeah.
I have not seen Halloween sales before, but now like I've seen it in numerous places this week, and I'm like physical stores, but also like online, especially online, to things that have nothing to do with Halloween.
This is a spooky software that you're buying here. That sounds really...
I saw one, its heading was, "We want to eat your brains," or "We want your brains." No,
Wow.
that just doesn't work.
No.
It didn't even work with the software that it was for. I was just confused. So marketing, they're just looking for times, opportune times that people have the money to spend. I think a lot of people realized that so many people are buying big ticket items on Black Friday that all the people offering lower ticket items are trying to get sales before everybody spends all their money on
that makes sense.
Christmas gifts and software and big technology things for their homes.
Yeah.
One thing I do think is funny, though. When was the last time Black Friday was about buying Christmas gifts?
I don't know.
It was.
I think, so here's the deal. When you buy Christmas gifts, you're not buying laptops, right?
It's true.
So like Black Friday is so like the day that I can be selfish and buy something for myself. And then like as Christmas comes up, like I'll buy something small and cheap for my friends.
Small and cheap?
Well, what I mean by that is like a bar of soap I'll buy for my friend. But like if I really want to get a good deal on something, I'm going to buy it for me. Like I'm going to be selfish, which is really, really funny because like we already said, Black Friday comes after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is all about family and friends and then the
thankfulness.
And then I'm going to buy what I want to buy.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think the people buying technology, a lot of them, yes, they're doing it for themselves, but they also get some for their kids.
Yeah, no.
And I think that's what fueled it, and now it's just transformed into those kids grew up, and now they're buying stuff for themselves because that's what they remember. It's like, oh, this is the time of year that I got a new laptop.
Yeah.
Or this is the time of year that I picked up a PS3, PS2, whatever it was back then. So it's just things like that that are really interesting and how things have changed in such materialism.
Yeah.
We are pretty bad about that with all the sales and the marketing. As many businesses as there are, it has fueled a lot of materialism and I want deals. I want to get the best that I can for the lowest cost. And people are very concerned about that. But they're also super concerned about their time.
Yeah, that's why it has this kind of like push and pull, which is really cool because like for the longest time, it was pretty much only Black Friday. Like Black Friday was like the biggest sale event. Mm-hmm. And then like with all the development in online sales, it's very much has now there's like a power struggle of like you can go in physical shopping centers and get really, really cheap stuff, or you can shop online with the convenience of your home. So it's like if I do just the online, then I miss the physical sales. If I do the physical sales, I miss the online sales.
Well, you might not have time to wrap things if it gets there like December 24th.
Right.
In the mail. So, I mean, if you buy things online, you've got to be able to have the time to prepare for it whenever it comes in.
Yeah.
And if it's coming in from international places, I mean, good luck.
Yeah.
It's not going to get there until the new year.
Yeah, which is just really cool. It's a really cool like strategy balance. And I think probably we're not big into shopping, but that's probably one reason why I think a lot of people are big into this whole, because it's kind of like a game. It's almost like a game.
It's strategy. Yeah, it is. It's really easy to get sucked into it, though. I will say that. Very easy to get sucked into it. If you are in the United States, you can expect a lot of craziness on this day, on this week really now. The last week of November is a crazy week in America in terms of sales and business and just getting to work around all the craziness. Yeah, no, that's a holiday, it's travel, it's business, it's work, it's gifts, it's the whole bit. It's really interesting because traditionally the winter has been some of the like the slowest time. Yeah. But I feel like it's like not like changed completely, but it is like winter like really ramps up into winter as far as like for Christmas. Yeah, for Christmas and all the after
holidays.
The new year it dies down.
Yeah, it's like and then just. If you are in America, you can choose to not do this, kind of like we do. It is totally fine to not participate in it. It is very hectic, it's stressful, and there's a lot of people that are totally fine and they're laid back and easygoing, but then there's other people that are very intense and they're trying to get a deal. They might be pushy. Yeah. Not meaning just physically pushy. They could be, I guess, but be very like stressed out, and everybody handles their stress in different ways. Yeah. So you might find that some people act a bit out of character on such days. But it's totally fine not to participate in it. You really don't have to. But if you want to, you can. All right, guys. So that's it for our natural English conversation about these phrasal verbs that have turned into nouns about shopping that we've talked about before.
If you like videos like this with natural English conversations and listening, then stick around. We have a whole playlist of this. We add to this list quite a bit. So we enjoy learning language, and we know how useful it is to hear natural conversation in context.
All right, guys, stay tuned for more videos coming in the future. We're so thankful for you guys for watching these videos and participating and the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.